All right, Mr. Ahmed here for 3.5. Our goal for today is to graph linear equations using slope-intercept form. This is the most common way that we are going to graph our lines. So really our essential question is just how do I graph a linear equation still? But today we're just going to use a different method. So a couple key things that we have to first work on is slope. The first thing with a slope is, what is it? Slope measures how steep a line is. It's represented by the variable m, and it stands for the change in y over the change in x. So we're talking about the rise over the run. Change in y, change in x. Rise means up and down, run means left and right. If I have to calculate the slope when given 2 points, I will use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That will come up a bit more next chapter. On a graph, if the slope is rising, keep in mind we're looking from left to right. So from left to right, if it's going up, rising, it's positive. If it's falling, it is negative. So when I first look at this here graph, we are going to just determine first, is it positive or is it negative? So from left to right, it's going up, so I would say it's positive. And now for us to count out the slope, we need to find 2 points on the graph that are exact. So I see that it goes through right there exactly at a point, and right here exactly at a point. So for me to calculate, also right here, that one's a little bit closer. I'm going to use this one instead. So for me to calculate the slope, I need to see how far up and how far over. So it goes up 1 over 2. So a change in y is plus 1, change in x is 2. So our slope m is equal to 1 over 2. It's going up 1 over 2, and it will follow this pattern throughout the whole graph. So to go to the next point, it goes up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. And if I start it all the way over here, it goes up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. That's what keeps the line straight. So it keeps going up 1 over 2. That is our slope. I'm going to try another one here. This one is going downhill from left to right, so it is negative. And now we have to find 2 points where it goes through. I see one here, and I also see one here. So this one's going down, so the slope is going to be negative. It goes down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 1 over 4 is our slope. And it'll follow that pattern again. It goes down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4 over 4. And that is slope. The next one says use the slope formula to find the slope from the given tables. So to use the formula, we are going to use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We have to pick 2 points. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to take this point 210 and this point 415. So with those 2 points, 210 and 415, we label one of the points x1, y1, the other one x2, y2. Doesn't matter the order. This could be x1, y1, x2, y2. We just label those out. And then the formula, I'm going to rewrite y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We have to substitute these values in. So in for y2 is 15, and for y1 is 10. So we would have 15 minus 10 over x2 is 4, x1 is 2, so 4 minus 2. And then we will simplify that down. 15 minus 10 is 5 over 2. Leave it as a fraction. The slope is 5 over 2. One more example here. Just pick any 2 points. I'm picking the first 2 again. x, 5, negative 12, and 5, negative 9, m equals, all right, x1, y1, x2, y2. So let's see here, negative 9 minus negative 12 over 5 minus 5. So on the top, -9 minus a negative, change to a plus. That would be 3 over 5 minus 5 is 0. 3 over 0. Error. Error. I can't take 3 divided by 0. Let's try again. Error. Can't do it. Error. Undefined. We can't divide by 0. That is the first commandment of math. It says thou shalt not divide by 0. It is undefined. So what does it mean if we end up with an undefined slope? It means that we would have a vertical line. It's infinitely steep. I can't measure the steepness of a vertical line. So undefined slope is vertical line. If the slope is 0, this is 0 over, let's just say 20. This one would be 20 over 0. Undefined is divide by 0. We could take 0 divided by something. That's 0. So 0 on top, 0 slope, 0 on bottom, undefined. Negative slope, again, downhill from left to right, and positive slope goes uphill from left to right. Okay? So to graph a line in slope-intercept form, we are going to use the slope and the y-intercept. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So the number, the coefficient of x, that is our slope. The number that's by itself is the y-intercept. And y needs to be isolated. So y is by itself. It has to say y equals, y equals, y equals. Can't have anything else with the y. So to graph in slope-intercept form, the first thing we'll do is identify the slope. The slope is 3. It's the coefficient of x. I'm going to rewrite y equals mx plus b. So m, slope is 3. We need that as a fraction. It's 3 over 1. Okay, it's a whole number, 3 over 1. The y-intercept is the b. In this case, it is a -4. All right. Now, to graph in slope-intercept form, the first thing we will do is plot the y-intercept first. So I go y-intercept, place where it crosses the y-axis. So down 1, 2, 3, 4, since it's -4. The slope is 3 over 1. So from the y-intercept, I will go up 3, right 1. Up 3, right 1. Up 3, right 1. And then from there, I should take out my straight edge in order to draw my nice straight line. And our graph is complete. So I went kind of quick through that one. We'll slow it down a bit on the next one. Okay? We will slow it down a bit on the next one. So to graph a line in slope-intercept form, first, what do we use? Do we use the slope or do we use the y-intercept? Well, we first have to use the y-intercept. Plot that first. Then we use the slope. And when we use the slope, we start at the y-intercept. I do not start again from the origin. All right, so got to be super careful here. So again, first step, identify, is it in slope-intercept form? Yes, it is. Y is isolated. So our slope, the coefficient of x, is -1 over 2. -1/2. Rise, run. The y-intercept is 3. So when I plot the y-intercept, I go up 3. It's positive. The slope is -1 over 2, so I go down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. With this process, we will always move to the right. If it's positive, we'll go up. If it's negative, we go down, but our right is the way we always want to go. So with a -1 over 2, I go down 1, right 2. If it were positive 1 over 2, I'd go up 1, right 2. Okay, so our negative move is going down. Do not ever go to the left. Just always take your run to the right. And then we'll connect with a nice straight edge to get a good line. And then our graph is complete. And that's all we have for today. Have a good one.